What is going on, you guys? The Six Nations might be over, but the postmortems are just beginning. Where did it all go wrong for the 5 teams that didn't get the cup? Where did it go so right for France, who are the champions for the first time in 4 years? One thing I want to do is name my round 6 team of the week. So let's get to it, guys. I'm going to start with this man here, Alice Genge from England. That was a masterful performance against Wales. Say what you will about the quality of the opposition, but England really showed up. They gave themselves every chance of winning the tournament. It's just a shame that France also had a very good day at the office. Otherwise, they might have snuck away with the title. But this guy led from the front. He had an early scrum penalty that really set the tone for England. And not just that, but you saw him ball handling in midfield sometimes. Backs looping around, and he'd be the link man. When you see a prop with silky skills like that, you have to give him his flowers, and that's what I'm doing. He is definitely in my team. And who's his hooker going to be? Well, of course, it has to be Dan Sheehan from Ireland. Now, look, this was not a vintage Irish performance by any stretch of the imagination. Italy had every right to win that game. If it weren't for some yellow cards and a lack of clinical finishing, they would have got a famous scalp at home. But one guy who did shine was Sheehan, the hooker. Not just the 3 tries, but his line-out throwing, his set-piece work, his stamina. I think that he will probably be the starting hooker for the Lions. Because now we're looking ahead to the British and Irish Lions, that tour to Australia. His name has to be one of the first you write down. Form's been exemplary. He's been consistent. I think he'll definitely get rewarded with a Lions starting jersey. How about this guy? Stewart from England. I'm just going for set-piece solidity here. Yes, we love props that can handle the ball well, but ultimately, you've got to do the business in the scrum. This guy did that. England set a good foundation up front. That's how they ran wild against the Red Dragon, so he's got to be in there. Thibaut Flormont. Pardon my French pronunciation. I'm a Kiwi Aussie American. Pronouncing French names isn't my strong suit, but whatever you want to call him, this guy is an absolute dead set starter for me. Phenomenal in the line-out. I mean, that French line-out is superb, but he's also very good around the field. He's a tackling machine. I believe he played about 75 minutes, so that is a big stint from a big man. And there was some real firepower on the French bench. So him staying out there that long, that's an absolute credit to him. Going to partner him with Maro Itoje from England. He led brilliantly against Wales. Just lethal in the air. Formidable at the breakdown. He's an all-round player. Can't leave him out. Can't leave him out. Even if England didn't win the title, he played like a champion yesterday, that's for sure. Francois Crowe. Now, here's the deal. You got a great defensive coach on the French staff. But it's one thing to have good coaching. You need the players to implement it. This guy has been a tackling machine. And when I think about the French this year, they may have scored a record number of tries in the Six Nations. Certainly that is top of mind. But also for me, it's the D. I really think that's where they won this tournament. I think back to that game against Ireland, how guys like this were smashing back anything that moved that was wearing green. And again, against Scotland, lining people up, accurate tackling, dominant tackles pretty much every time. Instrumental for France. The loose forward mix is just tremendous right now for Les Bleus. He's a big part of the success of this team. I'm going to partner him with another Englishman. A lot of English in this team. And it's not Tom Curry, it's his brother Ben. He had a hell of a game, a rare start for him. And I think what he's done is he's played his way into the Lions. I think he has to be there. Now, I'm not saying he's going to start for the Lions against the Wallabies. I think he'll start maybe some midweek games against some of the Super Rugby franchise teams. But maybe this bloke has to come off the bench because he's so sharp at the breakdown. He's so good at winning turnovers, pilfering the ball, great body height, positioning, technique. The Curry brothers are awesome. They really are. I actually liked both of them playing for England at the same time. Think there's merit in persisting with that. Don't think we'll see it for the Lions, but I reckon he's got to be on the plane to Australia at the very least. Ben Earl should be starting, though. Phenomenal number 8, and he played 30 minutes at centre against Wales, underlining his versatility and his out-and-out speed. I mean, you can't just move to the back line if you don't have some pace. This guy is quick enough to be an international centre. Not sure they should be moving him just yet. But he can play 7, he can play 8, apparently he can play 13, maybe he could play 12 at a pinch. Hell of a player, maybe my number 8 of the whole tournament, just Mr. Consistency. And okay, please roast me in the comments if you want for all these English players. Did you see what they did against Wales? Don't forget, this is a Welsh team that Ireland struggled to put away. They have some quality, Wales, despite being at, 17 losses in a row. I mean, they're at an all-time low, don't get me wrong, but putting almost 70 points on them is still impressive. And this guy's heads-up play was a big part of that. He is so smart, Alex Mitchell. He invariably takes the right option. He kicks well. He distributes well. And he showed some real toe to score a try, kick ahead, regather, heads-up play. But also, I think it's underrated how physically quick he is. I think that in the international rugby halfback pecking order, we talk a lot about Dupont. We're starting to talk a lot about Cam Roigard from New Zealand for good reason. Those are explosive athletes. But Mitchell gets around the field pretty rapidly. It's just that he's probably even more fleet of mind than he is fleet of foot. Just love the work that he did. Now, who would I be getting him to throw the ball to if I was coaching this fantasy team? Finn Russell. Now I know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't you pick Intermac? Well, imagine if this guy was playing behind the French forward pack. And there's your answer. Consider how good this guy is behind a reasonable pack, but not a pack as classy as the French and even the Irish, I would say. Not as stacked with superstars. If you put this guy behind a better forward pack, he would just be cutting everyone to shreds all the time. He's already pretty much cutting every defense to shreds all the time. But I think you have to acknowledge what a magician this guy is and how he gets his team on the front foot when really not much is going their way. They might be beaten at the set piece. He just needs a little bit of space and he's away. And he did unlock that vaunted French D that I've just been praising so much in this video. He got through it on a few occasions. Amazing 10. And if he was a Kiwi or a South African or a Frenchman, imagine what he'd be doing. Imagine what he'd be doing. Speaking of the French, BLBRE, got to be the winger of the whole series. Another classy performance. Kind of old school. He's sort of a lean, rangy kind of player. Almost a little bit like a Doug Howlett from New Zealand, where it's guile, goose step, swerve. That's how he gets around people. Loves to chip and chase, and most of the time he regathers. That's what he did here. Absolutely love this bloke. Rate him so much. Hope that he's on the plane to New Zealand. I want to see him going up against Will Jordan and Caleb Clark and Mark Talea. Could be Sevu Reece. We'll see who the Kiwis end up picking. Hopefully he's going to New Zealand. Let's move on to the centers. Mofana from France. I believe he was the man of the match. I can see why. Scored a great try and just was able to get over the advantage line constantly. This one was a pretty clear winner. I mean, there were some good performances at 12 over the weekend, but he absolutely shone. I'm going to put another Englishman out there. Tommy Freeman. He was terrific against Wales. Look at him there in his full pomp. Muscular, adroit kicking game, distribution, can finish himself. Total package, Swiss Army knife player. Got the speed to finish. Got enough bulk to break over the advantage line if the team needs him to get on the front foot. Sensational. Gonna put this guy, Tom Roebuck, on the other wing. It was tricky. I wanted to find space for Ioane from Italy. Absolutely rate him. Would have liked to have put him on one of the wings. But this guy's very versatile. He's very good under the high ball. I think that's probably why they picked him, just to shore up that kind of defensive, retreating, exit from your own 22 kind of vibe. He's certainly the man to do that. Safe as houses under the high ball. Good counterattack. England is looking really good in the backs. Really good. But better than I've seen them in quite some time. But I'm not going to put an Englishman at fullback, even though Marcus Smith was very good. Got to go with Ramos from France. And this picture sums it up. His goal kicking is lethally accurate. But he actually had probably, I want to say, the biggest contribution in the game in terms of an individual moment. It was, I want to say, around the 60th minute when he cut through, landed a killer blow against Scotland. He's fantastic. He's my fullback. All right, guys, what do you think of that team? Do you like it? Would you debate me on any of the positions? If you want to, do it in the comments. We'll have it out there. We'll discuss it. I'll hear you out. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video and my other coverage. I'll be back for another one very soon. I'm going to break down the latest round of Super Rugby. Look out for that in the next 24 hours or so. All right, guys, take it easy. Catch you soon. Bye for now.